What's happening, people? Welcome to Music Monday, and today in the Skillet, we're going to be talking about another tune on the Hillary Step. Third track on the album is a tune I wrote called Fallen. All right, kind of a interesting little tidbit behind this song. This is one of the few songs on that album that we actually recorded with Jim Bickerstaff in that mobile recording unit, uh, Gravity 780, whatever it was called. It had a weird name like that. Down in Elkmont, Alabama. We rolled in one day and cut the bed tracks to this song in the truck. It was the same one we used on Wax and Moon. I think this is the only song on this album that we got too. So following what's it about? I will say this song, was a end of a long relationship I had 4 or 5 year one long time ago. And I remember I had gone to down to Isle of Palms to rent a house on the beach and hang out for a couple of days and just kind of, get my thoughts together after all that kind of went down. And I remember it was in the fall, and I remember seeing a sign on the wall that said, "Keep your outside lights off," from October or May or whenever it was, because the baby sea turtles were hatching out in the dunes, and the light would distract them finding their way back to the ocean if you left them on your back porch on the beach on the houses. So I didn't know all that, so I thought that was fascinating. So that made its way into the second verse. And it's just kind of a moving on after a long relationship type song. And another little tidbit about this tune is I was told through the grapevine, I wrote this back in the 90s, that Kenny Chesney was going to cut this song. It was right after he kind of split up with Renee Zellweger, when all that went down. He never got around to it, but I'd heard that through the grapevine that this one was one he was looking at doing. I sure wish he would have. It's a pretty song. If you've never heard it, kind of reminds me something of like what maybe Poco would have done back in the 70s with all the harmonies at the end. That's Beth Wood singing harmony with John Felty at the end of it. So for you guitar players, again, this one's in Dadgad, so drop both E's to D and your B down to A. And you got to put a capo on the first fret on this song, so it's actually in a D sharp, really. And the lick is just in a D position. That would be your G, flat, G. It's a really pretty song. And that's it. You got a little Dadgad tuning capo first fret tune I wrote a while back, long time ago, called Falling. And as Paul Harvey would say, now you know the rest of the story. Here we do.